Okay, hi, I'm Trevor Watson from Why Me. Why Me is a charity which seeks to promote restorative justice for victims of crime. And today I'm delighted to be joined virtually by Gary Stephenson from Restorative Solutions. Gary, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Restorative Solutions, please?
Yeah, I'm Gary. I've been with Restorative Solutions for 14 years now. I'm the executive chair, started as a project manager for restorative approaches in neighbourhoods, as we called it then. And at that time, there was three of us. There was Nigel Wiskin and Charles Pollard, who were the co-founders. And I joined them with I think we had about 15 grand granted to us by some very kind organisation. So I've been on a bit of a journey ever since. We now provide services to police and crime commissioners. We work in education, we work in health, and basically we're doing a lot of work now with the violence reduction units up and down the country, and we are very much about restorative approaches as a problem-solving tool. That's what we do.
So Gary, so COVID-19, obviously huge impact. Just kind of explain to us what's that meant for Restorative Solutions for you personally?
Well, for Restorative Solutions, for the executive, it's not too big an issue because we'd already transgressed into a cloud-based system. So all our files, our papers, our comms were done through a cloud-based system. So for the exec, we're used to working with that. We're scattered about the country, and Zoom and working remotely wasn't a big change for us. However, we have service sites dotted up and down the country who are in offices, either police stations or partnership offices, local authorities. And for them, it's been a big change. Big change socially in terms of their interaction, and a big change professionally in terms of how they engage with clients, with participants, harmers and the harmed. Interesting, demand is still quite high, even though they're working remotely and from home. We're still engaged with participants in restorative conferencing, and we've also done quite a few around domestic disputes, around COVID-19 and the next door neighbour shopping the other neighbour in for going out and doing whatever they wanted to do. So we've got quite a bit of a boom in terms of domestic abuse and domestic violence. The staff are coming to grips with working remotely and electronically. Some are better than others, which is just nature of the beast. But there's no major big issues. We've been keeping the clients, the police and crime commissioners, briefed as regular as possible. And when you make a bid for a contract, let's say with the police and crime commissioner, you do a business continuity plan. And I have to say, I never thought we'd be using those business continuity plans, but believe me, we are. And they're coming through and standing good and holding us in good stead with the clients, the police and crime commissioners. My big worry is how long this goes on. Because at the end of the day, we haven't had to furlough staff, which is great news because the clients have been paying us to deliver a service remotely. But how long can that continue? And that's a big fear in my mind. It's going to be significant pressure on financial resources. And at some stage, everything that comes out of the government will be reviewed. And there's no doubt about it. Victim services, restorative justice, domestic abuse, domestic violence, are all going to be competing to a great extent with each other in the future.
So Gary, just to finish off, and thank you for that. You've sort of given us a flavour of the sort of things that you do to deal with these issues. What do you say 6 months, 12 months down the line? What do you see to be the issues?
I can see us back at work, but I can see social distancing as being the norm. Working totally different, working more remotely in terms of using IT and changing our practices and procedures. So a conference can still take place, but we're going to have to really observe the social distancing norms, and they will become a norm. As I go out and have a wander around the roads here, people are crossing the road from each other. And at first I'd have been offended, but not anymore, because that's the norm. That's how it is. I'm scrubbing hands. I've got a bandana I wear across my face. And at first time I saw someone who was out with a mask on, I thought, oh, But now that's going to be the norm. That's how it's going to be. Same with public transport. You know, the days of having, as you will recognise, our train buddies as we trot up and down to London and back on the trains and having great conversation with all sorts of wonderful and interesting people, that's gone. We're going to be sat in the row further down. So yeah, it's a real big change. But I do worry very much about the fiscal consequences and the fiscal consequences for all the work that people are doing around RJ. It's an easy one to knock off. An easy one to knock off.
Gary, that's really helpful. I really don't want to take any more of your time. Can I just thank you on behalf of Why Me? You're our first interviewee, so really thank you for your thoughts and comments. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Gary.
Pioneers. Thanks, Trev.
Cheers,
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.